In the last year, I've tried over 50 different pairs of hearing aids, from prescription leaders to over-the-counter hearing aids. There are some new products that have hit the market, including these hearing glasses that I'm wearing. They're actually glasses and hearing aids in one. It's a really interesting product, which I'll talk about more. But in this video, we're going to dive into the best over-the-counter hearing aids at several different price points, across styles. I've tried pretty much everything on the market, and I'm going to bring the list down to just 4. So if you're overwhelmed by your choices, stick with me through this video, and hopefully by the end, you'll understand who over-the-counter hearing aids are for, whether you might be a candidate, and which products you should consider as you're shopping. If we have not yet met, my name is Blake Cadwell. I'm the co-founder at Soundly.com. We're one of the leading resources for online hearing aid shopping and research in the United States. If you like what you see in this video, we'd appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Helps this video reach more people. With that, let's dig in. Okay, so before I dig into my experience with the various OTC hearing aids on the market and narrow down that list to just 4 of my favorites, which range in budget and style, let me just back up for a second and give you some background on what makes someone a good candidate for OTC hearing aids. Because if you've been researching hearing aids, you might have discovered that there are really 2 categories of hearing aids on the market. One is OTC, which we're talking about today, and the other is prescription, which you'll go to a local clinic and have fit to your hearing loss by a hearing professional. Now, on paper, there are a couple of key differences between OTC hearing aids and prescription hearing aids. The most important one for you to know is that OTC hearing aids are best for folks with mild to moderate hearing loss. If you have severe or profound hearing loss, you'll need to head to a local clinic to get hearing aids that can output enough sound to match that hearing loss prescriptive target. Now, you might ask, how do I know if I have mild to moderate hearing loss or severe or profound hearing loss? The fastest way to do this is to head over to Soundly.com and take our free hearing test. It will give you a chart, which will show you your level of hearing loss charted across several different frequencies. What you're looking for is the depth of that chart. If your chart looks something like this, OTC could be a good fit for you. If alternatively, it looks something like this with multiple frequencies in the severe category, then you'll probably want to go with prescription hearing aids. If you're not sure how to read your test, you can get in touch with our team over at Soundly.com anytime, and we'll give you a second opinion on whether you might be a candidate for OTC or prescription. We also have an in-depth video just on the topic of OTC versus prescription, which I'll link somewhere up here. You can take a look at that if you're still deciding. But let's assume that you've decided you want to go with the OTC route. You like the idea of having a product shipped to your home, you want to do the programming yourself, and maybe you're looking for something that's a little bit less expensive. As you'll see as we dig into the products, OTC hearing aids typically range from about $500 for a pair to around $1,200 for a pair, depending on the style that you're looking for. By comparison, if you head to a local clinic, you'll be spending at least $3,000 and up to $6,000 or $7,000, depending on who you work with. All right, with that background out of the way, let's talk about where things stand as of the middle of 2025. What are our favorite products on the market? The first thing to note is that OTC hearing aids have a wide range in quality. I've tried products that are just $99 off of Amazon and are completely unwearable for more than a few minutes. And then I've tried products that I can wear for weeks and months on end and come from the same manufacturers as those that make prescription hearing aids. So for anyone who's just getting started in their research, the first key step is to understand what set of brands to take a look at. There are a lot of brands that we simply throw out after our tests because we just don't think that they offer enough quality or precision or ability to manage background noise or sudden sounds. It turns out making a product that stays in your ears for hours and hours on end is a pretty complex task, and only a handful of brands are really that good at it. So that helps us narrow down our list. So as I mentioned, there are 4 products that I'm going to walk you through today. I'll mention some alternatives that we think could be a good option for some folks. But the key thing about these 4 products is that they represent different price bands for folks who have different amounts to spend, and they also represent different styles. So the first product we'll talk about, and currently our bestseller at Soundly.com, is the Sennheiser All-Day Clear. This product retails for around $999, and it comes from the largest maker of hearing aids in the world, Sonova. So Sonova is the parent company of Sennheiser, and Sennheiser uses Sonova tech, which also shows up in prescription brands like Phonak and Unitron. So essentially, if you pull this hearing aid out of the case and you start to wear it and you've worn a Phonak hearing aid before, you're going to notice a lot of similarities in how the sound is managed, even the form factor of the product itself. Now, beyond the fact that Sennheiser is made by Sonova, there are a handful of other things we really like about this product. One is the form factor. We'll talk about a few different form factors today, but the behind the ear or receiver and canal form factor tends to be really comfortable in folks' ears. People find that they forget they're wearing them for 10, 12, 14 hours a day. This is the style that I wear most of the time when I'm wearing hearing aids out and about. Importantly, receiver and canal hearing aids also have a bit more sophistication when it comes to sound quality, and they stream Bluetooth. So Sennheiser All Day Clear streams from iPhones and Androids. That means you can take hands-free phone calls, listen to podcasts, music, all through your hearing aids. The other important note to make about the receiver and canal style specifically is that although you might think this style, this traditional hearing aid style, would be more visible, it tends to be often less visible in many folks' ears. And that's because you just have this really narrow wire that drops down into your ear canal. Especially in my case where I have hair that covers up the back of my ears, almost no one's going to know I'm wearing this product. I will often have people ask, are you wearing hearing aids right now? And it's because I'm wearing a receiver and canal device. Now, there are a handful of other products that have a similar form factor to the Sennheiser All Day Clear. Lexi B2 Plus is one example. But what we find is that the Sennheiser All Day Clear has the most mature and capable sound processing quality. Maybe that's no surprise because it comes from Sonova and they've got all this experience with sound management. But overall, we just find this gives us more clarity, better background noise management than anything else in this style, and certainly at this around $1,000 price point. One other important note before we move on to some of the other brands is that if you purchase Sennheiser All Day Clear through soundly.com, you get 100 days to return this product. It's the only place online you'll find that. We worked with the Sennheiser team directly. We found that a lot of folks were really enjoying this product, but they just wanted more time to adjust before they made a final decision. And so we ultimately were able to come up with this 100-day trial, which has worked really well for a lot of folks. So head over to soundly.com if you're interested in trying Sennheiser All Day Clear with a 100-day trial. Okay, so let's move on to product number 2. And this one is our favorite in-ear device. It is the Sony C20. It's a rechargeable hearing aid. It's tiny, fits all the way down into the ear canal. Most people will never know that I'm wearing this product. You maybe could see a shadow if you look right down into my ear canal, but it's basically an invisible hearing aid. It has a little pull tab that allows me to pull it out of my ear canal, put it back in the recharge case. This is the product that we recommend to anyone who knows that they want an in-ear style device and not a behind the ear style. Some folks just prefer not to have anything behind their ears and they want something that just goes into their ear canals and is out of the way and is genuinely invisible in most ear canals. Now, just like Sennheiser, Sony C20 is made by one of the big hearing aid manufacturers that also sells products in clinic. So if you go into a clinic and you ask for an invisible style device, they might recommend a product called Signia Silk, which looks nearly identical and is made by the same parent company as Sony C20. You're probably catching a trend here. The largest manufacturers in the world have released over-the-counter products with lower sound output for folks with mild to moderate hearing loss, but they have a lot of the same basic features as what you're finding in a prescription hearing aid. The key difference, of course, is that you do the programming and the price tends to be a lot lower. Sony C20, just like Sennheiser, is about $1,000 for a pair. Now, in trade for the invisible style hearing aid that you're getting with Sony C20, the key thing you're losing is Bluetooth streaming. So you can't stream through these devices, can't take phone calls, etc. You'll probably end up popping them out and wearing earbuds if you want to listen to a podcast. With that said, though, we've fit thousands of customers with this product over at soundly.com, and generally we find folks are really happy with the sound quality, the discretion, and the overall comfort for all day wear. It's definitely our top option if you're looking for something in the ear. One alternative you could consider is the new Eargo 8. This was just released a couple of weeks ago. It is the latest flagship from Eargo, and it's a great product. Similarly, it's rechargeable, sits deep inside the ear canal, but one key difference is that it's quite a bit more expensive at around $2,600 instead of the $1,000 mark. So that's why we aren't recommending it to everyone. If you're less price sensitive, you could definitely check that one out at soundly.com as well. All right, number 3 in our mid-year choice for the best OTC hearing aids is Nuance audio glasses. This is a brand new entrant into the space in 2025 since the last time we recorded. And the way this product works is it has an open ear speaker here on the armband that plays sound directly into the ear. So if I put the product on and turn it on, it is essentially capturing what I'm looking at and sending it back into my ear canals. I've spent quite a bit of time in this product in the last few months, and I've been really impressed with its ability to grab sounds that are in front of me and bring them back to me. It's a little bit weaker when it comes to all around sound. So if I want to capture a soft sound behind me, it's not quite as strong, but anything in front of me, it's giving me really clear boosted sound. Now, importantly, if you're someone who is not ready to put something inside of your ears, maybe you have sensitive ear canals, or you just don't like the idea of wearing hearing aids all day, this product offers an open ear solution. So maybe you have milder hearing loss, or you want to wear something situationally, this product could be a really good one to consider. You can purchase Nuance audio glasses in a couple of different styles. and colors. You can do all of that on soundly.com. You'll get our care and service, which includes a setup call where we can troubleshoot things with you and talk with you about what you're hearing. And of course, it also includes all of our normal perks like hassle-free returns and price drop protection. Now, a couple of important notes. Just like Sony C20, this product does not stream Bluetooth. They've focused on battery life and outside world sound instead of streaming calls or music. I hope in a future generation we might see a Bluetooth streaming version of this product, but today there is no Bluetooth streaming. The other important note is that if you purchase Nuance audio, it's going to come with transition lenses. That means clear lenses when you're inside, turns into a great pair of sunglasses actually when you're outside. And if you want, you can turn them into prescription lenses by simply taking them to your local optometrist. This product is actually one of the main reasons that we felt we needed to record a mid-year OTC update, because the form factor is so different and it's brand new to the market. We actually think this is a fantastic product for a lot of folks. Okay, so the final set of hearing aids on our leaderboard for mid-2025 is the ELEHEAR Beyond. This is our budget winner. This product retails for $399 for a pair. It has Bluetooth streaming, tinnitus management, rechargeable batteries. It's got pretty solid sound management. And in general, it offers a really strong value for less than $400. If you're looking for a product that is in the budget set, and maybe you're thinking about some of the products on Amazon or that you've seen advertised on TV, we would recommend going with this option. This is by far the best budget hearing aid that I've tried. And as I mentioned, I've tried a lot of different products and many of them I just can't even wear for more than a few minutes. ELEHEAR Beyond is not that way at all. I can wear this product all day. Now that said, the sound processing is maybe a half step behind what you'd find with some of the premium market leaders, but it's a really great option for anyone who's on a tighter budget or looking to just get started and try something before they figure out where to go next. If you decide to go with any of these 4 products, you can drop down below. We have links to each one, in-depth reviews, more videos, all the information that you'll need. If you purchase through soundly.com, you'll also get all of our care and perks. So one of the main things to know is that any hearing aid that you purchase, regardless of style or price, you'll get an audiologist setup call included with your purchase. So that means once the product arrives, if you need support, we'll get on a video call with you and walk you through every single step of the way. We're also there to support you ongoing as you adjust to your new pair of hearing aids. All right, before we wrap up, let me touch on a couple of bonus options that didn't make our top 4 list, but are still interesting in the OTC category. The first is Apple's AirPods Pro 2. So we have a full video about Apple's AirPods Pro 2 and their hearing aid capabilities, which I'll link somewhere up here. But what you need to know is that Apple AirPods Pro 2 have a hearing aid mode, which can essentially be turned on, and the product is pretty good. It has some clear shortcomings in battery life and just aesthetic because it looks like you're wearing AirPods when you're in conversation, but it's a strong place to start if you have a pair sitting around. You can set them up as hearing aids in a few minutes and at least get a feel for what hearing aids can do for you. The other bonus option to consider is Jabra Enhanced Select. So this is a product that's sort of a hybrid between prescription and OTC. Jabra Enhanced Select is more expensive. It's about $2,000 for a pair, but an audiologist will actually program your devices and send them to you instead of you doing the programming yourself. In our experience, both approaches work really well, but if you like the idea of someone else programming your hearing aids and you want the convenience of having them shipped to your home, Jabra could definitely be worth taking a look at. We'll drop a link to Jabra below. You can get some more information about that product if you're interested. All right, so now that you've heard our top 4 recommendations, Sennheiser, Sony, Nuance Audio, and ELEHEAR, but if you're still sitting there thinking, well, which one is going to be right for me? Let me give you a little bit of perspective on which of these products we tend to recommend to which types of folks. We'll start by saying, we'll assume that you are a candidate for OTC in general. So you have mild to moderate hearing loss and you're comfortable setting up a product with a smartphone. Now, if you were to just walk up to us on the street and ask, what's the best overall OTC hearing aid? I would probably answer Sennheiser All Day Clear. That's because I like the comfortable receiver and canal style, the Bluetooth streaming, and I think the sound quality is probably the strongest among the set that we're talking about today. It's a really great overall product, and for the price, it's a really good value. If alternatively, you told me I can't have something behind my ears, and maybe I can't have anything in my ears at all, I would point you towards Nuance Audio or Sony. They're both effectively invisible hearing aids, and they offer some really unique advantages in form factor while also enhancing your hearing. For someone who doesn't want to wear glasses a lot, you should probably look at Sony C20. But if you're open to the idea of wearing sunglasses or maybe prescription glasses, Nuance could be a really strong option as well. And then finally, if you're constrained by budget or you're just getting started and you don't want to spend more than a few $100s to kind of feel this whole thing out, I would say start with the ELEHEAR Beyond. It's a very strong product for the price point. You won't get every bit of sound processing quality that you get with some of the other options, but in general, you're going to get a whole lot of quality and a whole lot of features for less than $400. All right, that's it for now. I'm sure we'll record another one of these videos soon. And until then, good luck with your research.